Never death row production. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson, the next heavyweight champion of the world.
Alrighty guys, what's going on? Welcome on back. It's the Empire. I'm your host Risky. It is Tuesday, August 18th. Looking back at yesterday. Oh man, not a good day yesterday. Go 0 for 4. We got done in by the Braves and the Diamondbacks. If had the Diamondbacks won, we would have hit on our 3-leg parlay. The Braves just did us in on our solo bet. Overall, not a good day. But look, you guys already know the rules. It's on to the next one. We got a full slate of baseball back on tap today. Got this video coming out a bit later than usual. Got stuck at the job last night. We're going to do an abbreviated breakdown, run through these games, get to these picks. Guys, Outlier Sportsbook, the link is down in the description. Sign up with them. The first week is free. Also, at the end of the video, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. With all of that being said, let's jump into it. Alright, first game up, we got the Yankees in Baltimore taking on the Orioles. We got Carlos Rodon on the mount for the Yankees. We got Shane Baz on the mount for the Orioles. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Carlos Rodon back on the mount for the Yankees. This guy has not pitched in the majors in over 2 months. Before he got injured, the command wasn't really there. He was getting hit kind of hard. In this game here today, back on the mount, he's going to be seeing an Orioles lineup. We talked about it in yesterday's game when Shane McClanahan on the mount for the Rays. This Orioles team, the on-base percentage, the average versus lefties really isn't there. It's the slugging numbers. This team has really good slugging numbers off of left-handed pitching. Like I said, Rodon's hard hit rate in this game is something I'm paying attention to. My overall breakdown for Rodon, he goes about 4, possibly 5 innings where he gives up 2 to 3 runs before we get to the Yankees bullpen. They had off yesterday. The pen is completely rested coming into it. I like the arms coming out the Yankees bullpen to come in this game today. Possibly give up another run, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Shane Baz on the mount. Decent pitcher for Baltimore overall. I mean, the record's atrocious, 4-12. They've only won 5 of his games this season. The ERA still up over 4 in his last few starts. The hard hit rate still sitting at 44%. Terrible splits versus lefties. He's going to be seeing a Yankees lineup loaded with left-handed bats here today. Not to mention the Orioles bullpen is in a terrible spot. Just wrapped up the 4-game series with the Rays. The bullpen is highly taxed. Looking at the matchup here today, I see Shane Baz struggling, going about 5, possibly 6 innings. I do see this Orioles lineup leaving him an inning or 2 out there longer than he should be, like I said, because of that bullpen situation. My overall breakdown for Baz here today goes 5, possibly 6 innings where he gives up 3, maybe 4 runs. Before we get to this incredibly taxed Orioles bullpen, I see the arms coming out the pen in this game today, giving up another 2, possibly 3 runs. Looking at the weather in this one, it's a bit odd. They have this ranked as the 3rd best offensive game on the schedule, but we do have about like 4 to 5 mile-per-hour winds blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Yankees are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like that over 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Ben Rice to the Yankees to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Cardinals in Cincinnati taking on the Reds. We got Kyle Leahy on the mount for the Cardinals. We got Andrew Abbott on the mount for the Reds. Alright, getting into this game here. These 2 teams played a doubleheader yesterday. They split the games. Both of the bullpens coming into this one here today are incredibly taxed. We do got Kyle Leahy on the mount for the Cardinals. This guy's having a really good season. 3.38 ERA, but the whip is pretty high. It's sitting at 134. The whip is really high because of the control. Walks a bunch of batters. The reason that really hasn't been affecting him this season, he's been getting saved. He has a very high ground ball rate. He is a ground ball pitcher, pitches for a lot of contact, gets a lot of double plays when he walks batters, so that's been getting him out of a lot of jams. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Cincinnati Reds offense. In the last 10 games played, this team offensively has been terrible. They've become a 2-man show with just Sal Stewart and Elly De La Cruz. The rest of the lineup is doing absolutely nothing. Looking at the matchup breakdown for Kyle Leahy here today, I can see him coming out dealing. The whole lineup is pretty much right-handed bats except Elly. As long as he could pitch around Elly De La Cruz at the top of that lineup, I can see Kyle Leahy having another quality start where he goes about 6, possibly 7 innings, where he gives up 2 runs before we get to this terrible Cardinals bullpen. Like I said, both of the pens are taxed. I see both of the bullpens coming in this game here today. All the arms are probably going to give up runs. On the other side, we got Andrew Abbott. The left-handed pitcher's been having a really good season this year. Really good strikeout rate. It's the whip. The whip continues to be high. He's another pitcher that struggles with his command. Fortunately for him here today, he's going to be seeing a Cardinals lineup. They've been very mediocre, if not closer to bad, in the last 2 weeks versus left-handed pitching. Besides Jordan Walker, I can see Abbott coming out here today, having a really good game. He matches up really well against this St. Louis Cardinals lineup. The Cincinnati Reds bullpen, the position they're in here today, is the X factor for me. I see the arms coming out the Reds bullpen late in this game, giving up a bunch of runs here today. Looking at the weather, second most offensive friendly game on the schedule. We got about 8-mile-per-hour winds blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Cardinals are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I like them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the over 8.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Jordan Walker of the Cardinals for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Tigers in Pittsburgh taking on the Pirates. We got Montero on the mount for the Tigers. We got Ashcraft on the mount for the Pirates. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Kiter Montero on the mount for the Tigers. This guy's having an amazing season. 3.22 ERA, 115 whip, really high ground ball rate. The hard hit rate sitting at 35%. Does not walk a bunch of batters. Looking at the matchup here today for him, he's going to be seeing a Pirates lineup loaded with left-handed bats. Not to mention the Pirates are getting O'Neal Cruz back. Their big power bat is back here today. Montero does struggle a bit with lefties. Granted, he's coming off a really good game last week against the Guardians. This Pirates team is a completely different team versus right-handed pitching. Granted, the offense is now just starting to click again. On the year, this is still a top 10 team versus right-handed pitching. Not to mention Montero's primary pitch is that sinker. This Pirates line crushes the sinker. I could see Montero really getting hit up in this one. Going about 5 innings where he gives up 3 runs. Before we get to the Tigers bullpen, decent bullpen overall. They're in a decent spot coming into this game, but I still see the arms available giving up another 2 runs when they enter this one. On the other side, we got Braxton Ashcraft on the mount for the Pirates. This guy's a good starting pitcher. He's had a bunch of blow-up starts this season. That's the big knock on him. But we talk about it all the time here. Whenever Braxton Ashcraft's on the mount, the first thing you look at is how many left-handed bats is in the opposing lineup and what's their slugging numbers. It's a combination with Ashcraft. It's just not the lefties. Last week, he saw a Marlins lineup loaded with left-handed bats. He went out there, pitched 9 innings, only gave up a run. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Detroit Tigers lineup. Only 4 to 5 projected lefties. Still no Riley Green in the lineup. But Braxton Ashcraft does this, for one, this Tigers lineup does not have high slugging numbers. Braxton Ashcraft has a very low walk rate. That's one thing I really like about this guy. Does not walk a bunch of batters, has a very low hard hit rate. I see Ashcraft in a home game where he pitches really good coming out here today dealing. Going about 6, possibly 7 innings where he gives up a run. Before we get to the back end of this Pirates bullpen, they're in a decent spot here today. I actually like the arms available for the Pirates to come in this game, give up another run, nothing too crazy. Looking at the weather in this one, I would say the weather's a bit neutral. We have like 3 to 4 mile per hour winds blowing from the diamond to the outfield. I don't really see that affecting anything. Let's get to the picks. The Pirates are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8. I do like the over 8 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Brandon Lau of the Pirates for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Marlins in Philadelphia taking on the Phillies. We got Gibson on the mount for the Marlins. We got Zach Wheeler on the mount for the Phillies. Alright, getting into this one here, we're going to have Gibson open up the game. He'll just pitch the first inning. After that, Tyler Phillips will come in, be the primary pitcher. Phillips was in the starting role like just a regular starter, but they moved him into this new role where they have an opener for him because in his last few starts, the command has been, not there at all for him, and the hard hit rate has been through the roof. He's been getting lit up in his last few starts, so it looks like the Marlins are trying a new role with him here today. He is going to be seeing a Phillies lineup offensively. In the last week, this team has been crushing right-handed pitching. In the last 10 games played, the Phillies are batting .278, slugging .450. I'm expecting Tyler Phillips to get hit up in this one once again. This Phillies lineup in their home games always put up a bunch of runs. My overall breakdown before we get to the back end of this Marlins bullpen. I see the combination of Gibson and Phillips taking the Marlins to the 6th inning, giving up 3, possibly 4 runs. before we get to this incredibly taxed Marlins bullpen. They're going to come in this game, give up another 2, possibly 3. On the other side, we got Zach Wheeler. This guy was having an amazing season, but in his last 3 starts, we're starting to see some regression from Wheeler. In his last 3 outings, pitched a combined 15 innings. He has an ERA sitting at 5.60, whip sitting at 135, hard hit rates at 42% in those 3 games. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Marlins lineup. They've been having some decent offensive games in the last week. Granted, this Phillies bullpen is absolute trash. Every time this Phillies bullpen comes in the game, they give up a bunch of runs. It don't matter who they're facing. Here today, looking at the matchup for Zach Wheeler, I don't see him having a problem with this Marlins lineup. I actually see this a get-right spot for Zach Wheeler. I could see him going about 7 shutout innings. Before we get to this freaking Phillies bullpen, they disappointed me yesterday. We needed them on the run line. Could not hold on to the lead. Could not hold a drop of water. I see them coming in the game once again, giving up 2, possibly 3 runs. This game is out in Philadelphia. It's going to be a bit more, as far as the weather goes, it's going to be a bit more on the hitter-friendly side. We have a small gust of wind. It's like 2 to 3 miles per hour. It's blown from the outfield into the diamond. It's going to be over 85 degrees, so I don't really see that affecting anything. Let's get to the picks. The Phillies are the betting odd favorites in this game here today. I mean, the prices for this game are ridiculous. Minus 225. The Phillies should not be this big of favorites in my opinion, but I do like them here today on the money line. The game total set at 8. I do like the under 8 total runs in this one. For the player prop, it's taking Bryce Harper of the Phillies for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Blue Jays in Tampa Bay taking on the Rays. We got Soriano on the mound for the Jays. We got Nick Martinez on the mound for the Rays. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Jose Soriano back on the mound for the Blue Jays. This will be his 3rd start for the Blue Jays up to this point. He's looked strong in the first 2 outings, only giving up a run in both of those games, but the same issue that was plaguing him with the Angels is already here showing its head, that being the control for Soriano. Walking a bunch of batters, struggling to find the strike zone. In my opinion, it looks like he tries to get guys to chase with the sinker way too much. He falls behind the count, throws the fastball down the middle of the plate, and that's when he gets hit. In this game here today, he's going to be seeing a Tampa Bay Rays lineup. Very patient lineup. We talked about it in yesterday's video. Top 5 team when it comes to drawing walks. Like I said, Jose Soriano's issue is the command. Not to mention, this team is loaded with left-handed bats. Soriano does struggle a bit with lefties. Like I say, he's throwing that sinker primarily, pitching for contact. I see the Rays being able to get to Soriano here today. They're a very good home ballpark. They did struggle in that series versus the Orioles, but the Orioles have been giving the Rays problems all year up to this point. They might just have their number. This Rays lineup has been playing the Blue Jays very well up to this point. I see the Blue Jays being able to get to Soriano here today. I see him having a quality start, going about 5-6 innings where he gives up 2 runs. Before we get to a mediocre Blue Jays bullpen, I see the arms coming in, giving up another runner, so nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Nick Martinez. Nick Martinez has been really good this season for Tampa Bay. Granted, the underlying numbers, the xFIP, the hard hit rate, very high. So last weekend, what was it, Sacramento, he got lit up in that small ballpark. We were expecting that with all of those stuff being high, but back at home where he's been dominant this season, seeing a Blue Jays lineup stacked with right-handed bats, I see Nick Martinez having another good game here today, going about 6 if not 7 innings where he gives up a run. Before we get to the taxed Tampa Bay Rays bullpen, I see the arms coming out the pen, coming in this game, giving up another 2 runs. This game is down in Tampa Bay in the dome, so no whether to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. The Rays are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 7.5. I like the under 7.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Jonathan Aranda of the Rays for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Padres in New York taking on the Mets. We got Robbie Ray on the mound for the Padres. We got Zach Thornton on the mound for the Mets. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Robbie Ray on the mound for the Padres. This will be his 3rd start for San Diego up to this point. Got rocked in his first 2 outings against the Astros and the Brewers. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Mets lineup. This Mets team in the last 2 weeks has been really good offensively, but when we look at the numbers versus lefties, they have started to regress a bit versus left-handed pitching. This Mets lineup has been hitting a lot of home runs recently. The power's really been there for them. That's one thing Robbie Ray does really good. Very low hard hit rate, does not give up a bunch of home runs. The big knock on Robbie Ray is his command. He walks a bunch of batters. Here today, seeing a Mets lineup, they're about middle of the pack when it comes to drawing walks. I can see Robbie Ray seeing a lineup here today, 5 to 6 projected left-handed bats, having a really good game. My overall break breakdown for Robbie Ray, like I said, really does not walk a bunch of guys, but has very good strikeout numbers. I see him coming out here today having a really good game. Best starter as a Padre. I see him going about 6 innings, giving up a run. Before we get to the Padres bullpen here today, slightly taxed coming into it. I see the arms coming out the Padres bullpen, giving up another 2 runs when they enter. On the other side, we got Zach Thornton on the mound. Started off looking really strong, but in his last few starts, we're starting to see him get hit pretty hard. Not to mention he's been struggling to find the strike zone in his last few starts. He's going to be seeing a Padres lineup here today. 7 projected right-handed bats. He does struggle a bit with righties. Not to mention this Padres team in the last 10 games played is a top 5 offense versus left-handed pitching. The slugging numbers have been through the roof for the Padres versus lefties. I can see them getting to him here today. My breakdown for Thornton, he pitches 5. The Mets want him to go at least 6 in my opinion. The Mets bullpen is in a terrible spot here today, but I see him going 5, giving up 2, possibly 3. Before we get to the X factor in this game, this Mets bullpen, highly taxed coming into it. I see the arms coming out the Mets bullpen coming in this game, giving up another 2, possibly 3. Looking at the weather in this one, the Ballpark Pal has this game projected as the lowest offensive game on the schedule. We have about 6 to 7 mile per hour winds blowing from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Padres are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the over 8.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Manny Machado with the Padres to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Diamondbacks in Boston taking on the Red Sox. We got Merrill Kelly on the mount for the D-backs. We got Ranger Suarez on the mount for the Red Sox. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Merrill Kelly on the mount for the D-backs. This guy's been so inconsistent for Arizona this season. 5.11 ERA, whip sitting at 137. The hard hit rate's at 33%. He'll just go out there and have a random shutout one day, then the next game he'll go out there, pitch 4 innings, give up 4 runs. In this game here today, he's going to be seeing a Red Sox lineup. They had their best offensive game in like the last week. They put up 11 runs yesterday, but looking at the matchup here today for Merrill Kelly, I can see him having a good game. He gets a lot of swing and misses on his stuff. This Red Sox lineup's been striking out a lot recently. Not to mention their walks are down. Offensively, they're not been drawing as many walks. Merrill Kelly doesn't have a huge walk rate. The big thing with Kelly has been the hard hit rate in the last few games, except yesterday's game. I think that's a bit of an outlier. They saw Mitch Kelly and then they saw Zach Littell for like the bulk relief and they got to them. But here today for Merrill Kelly, I see him having a good game, going about 5 innings where he gives up a run, possibly 2. Before we get to the Diamondbacks bullpen, they're in a really good spot here today. I like the arms coming out the Diamondbacks bullpen to come in this game and shut down this Red Sox lineup. On the other side, we got Ranger Suarez. This guy was having an amazing season. Then he hurt his leg towards the beginning of July. Ever since then, they've been having him on a limited pitch count, not having him pitch past the 5th inning. He has not looked sharp. He's been really struggling to find the strike zone in his last few starts. Not to mention the hard hit rate's been going up for him as well. He's going to be seeing a Diamondbacks lineup here today. Top 10 team versus left-handed pitching. Granted, Marte did not show up for the game yesterday. They do not know if he's going to be playing here today. He is a big bat in this lineup. If I knew he was playing, I'd be a lot more confident in the Diamondbacks, but still, capping this game with no Marte and the Diamondbacks lineup, I actually like this spot for the D-backs. We've seen them be able to have a lot of productive games without Marte. This isn't the first time he's been out this year. He's missed a lot of games up to this point. Overall expectation for Ranger Suarez, like I said, still dealing with that leg injury, still on a limited pitch count, limited innings. I see him going about 4 or 5 innings where he gives up a run or 2. Before we get to the X factor in this game, this Red Sox bullpen, I do not like this spot here for the Red Sox bullpen. I see the arms coming out the pen, giving up another 2, possibly 3 runs. This game is out in Boston. It's going to be a bit more on the hitter-friendly side. We got a small gust of wind from the outfield into the diamond. I don't really see that affecting anything. Let's get to the picks. The Red Sox are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I like the road dogs in this spot. Give me the Arizona Diamondbacks on the money line. The game total set at 8. I lean towards the under 8. Not a super confident play there. For the player prop, I'm taking Corbin Carroll of the Diamondbacks for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Athletics in Kansas City taking on the Royals. We got Perkins on the mount for the Athletics. We got Black on the mount for the Royals. Alright, getting into this game here. Once again, the most straightforward game on the schedule. We got Jack Perkins on the mount for the Athletics. This guy's been horrendous. In his last 3 starts, he has an ERA sitting at 12. The whip is sitting at 250. The hard hit rate sitting at 55%. Just like with yesterday with Perkins on them, with Barnett on the mound, I should say, a guy that got tagged early. We got to the Athletics bullpen early. This terrible Royals offense was able to put up a bunch of runs. We should have played Bobby Witt home run. We actually picked Bobby Witt to have the home run yesterday. He went yard, should have played it in our parlay. But once again in this game here today, guys, nothing to really break down. Both of the starting pitchers from Mason Black and Jack Perkins, both on the mound, are going to get tagged. Both of these terrible bullpens are going to get tagged. I give the advantage to the Royals. Once again, they have the better bullpen. They got a better offense overall. Bobby Witt, Caglione, you got a lot of good bats in that lineup. This is a Royal spot once again here today. Looking at the weather in this game, very hitter-friendly weather out there in Kansas City. We got wind blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Royals are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I like them on the money line. The game total set at 9.5. I do like the over 9.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Salvador Perez of the Royals to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Mariners in Milwaukee taking on the Brewers. We got Bryce Miller on the mound for the Mariners. We got Kyle Harrison on the mound for the Brewers. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Bryce Miller on the mound for the Mariners. Started off the season looking amazing, but in his last 3 starts, he's been getting rocked. He's got a 6.06 ERA in the last 3 outings. The whip is sitting close to 2. Hard hit rates at 48%. He's going to be seeing a Brewers lineup here today, stacked with left-handed bats. He's been struggling to get out lefties. Not to mention this Brewers team does not strike out a lot. They're a very patient lineup. They draw a lot of walks. I see Bryce Miller having another rough outing here today. Granted, pitching in the Dome in Milwaukee might benefit him a bit, but overall, he's not going to look sharp. He's going to struggle with this patient Brewers lineup, in my opinion. I see him going about 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. Before we get to the Mariners bullpen, they continue to play so mediocre here. I see the arms coming out the bullpen, giving up another 2 runs. On the other side, we got the X factor for me in this game. Kyle Harrison, the young left-handed pitcher, has been amazing this season. Great strikeout to walk ratio. The hard hit rate sitting at 28%. He's going to be seeing a Seattle Mariners lineup stacked with left-handed bats, 7 projected lefties in the lineup. As long as he can pitch around J-Rod here today, I see him having a really good game. My overall breakdown for Kyle Harrison, who's dominant in his home starts, I see him going about 6-7 scoreless innings here today before we get to the Brewers bullpen. They'll probably come in and give up another run or so. This game is out in Milwaukee in the Dome, so no real weather to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. The Brewers are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the run line. The game total set at 7.5. I like the over 7.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Christian Yelich of the Brewers for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Braves in Minnesota taking on the Twins. We got Tyler Mahle on the mound for the Braves. We got Sebby Matthews on the mound for the Twins. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Tyler Mahle on the mound for the Braves, making his 3rd start for Atlanta up to this point. He's looked really sharp in the first 2 games. Pitcher combined 13 innings, only giving up a run. The strikeout to walk ratio has been very good. That's been really dominant for him in the first 2 games. That's going to help him in this game here today. Seeing a Twins lineup that strikes out a bunch, does not draw a lot of walks. We saw this Twins lineup. I mean, offensively in the last 2 weeks, they've been playing really good. They won the first game of the series yesterday, had a good offensive game against the left-handed pitcher Perez. In this one here today for Mahle, if he could work the K's, pitch around Buxton at the top of that lineup, he could have a very good game. My overall breakdown for him, he goes about 6 innings, giving up a run. Before we get to this Braves bullpen, they continue to play so damn mediocre here. I see the arms coming out the bullpen, giving up another 2, possibly 3 runs. On the other side, we got Sebby Matthews on the mound. He's my X factor in this game. For one, in his last 3 starts, the ERA sitting up above 6, the whip sitting up above 140. The big thing for me, though, is that hard hit rate. It's sitting at 52%. Sebby Matthews averages 1.8 home runs per 9 innings, which is close to the top of the league. I see a few of these Braves being able to take him yard in this one. Not to mention this lineup is loaded with lefties. He struggles with left-handed bats. My overall breakdown for Sebby Matthews, he goes 4, possibly 5 innings where he gives up 3 to 4 runs. Before we get to the mediocre Twins bullpen, I see the arms coming out the pen, giving up another 2 possibly. Looking at the weather in this game, a bit more on the hitter-friendly side. We got about 5 to 6 mile per hour winds blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Braves are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the over 8.5 total runs. For the player prop, I'm taking Matt Olson of the Braves to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the White Sox in Wrigley Field taking on the Cubs. We got Eric Fetty on the mound for the White Sox. We got Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Cubs. So in this game here, Eric Fedde is going to be the primary pitcher. They just have not listed the official opener yet. That's how coming on some books you're going to see no pitcher listed for the White Sox coming into it. But Eric Fedde will be the primary pitcher. Yesterday's game went exactly how we said. We said that both teams will put up runs. The Cubs will win off of that White Sox bullpen. That's exactly what they did. Here today, the White Sox bullpen had a huge disadvantage. Not to mention Eric Fedde's a guy that only pitches 4 innings. You're going to be having to get to this White Sox bullpen very early here today. Not to mention Fedde on the road this season's been struggling. At home, he's actually been much better, but on the road this season, ERA sitting up over 5. He's been struggling with lefties. He'll be seeing a few lefties in this lineup. He is a sinker ball pitcher, though. Pitches for a lot of contact. The hard hit rate sitting at 38%. I see this Cubs lineup being able to get to Fedde. My overall breakdown for him, he pitches his regular 4 innings, giving up 2, possibly 3 runs. Before we get to the White Sox bullpen, they're going to be the X factor once again in this game for me. I see the arms coming out the pen, giving up another 2, possibly 3 runs. On the other side, we got Kevin Gausman. He was almost my X factor. Had the White Sox not been in such a bad spot, Kevin Gausman, since the Cubs went out and got him, has been horrendous, giving up 3 or more runs in all the starts. The hard hit rate sitting at 52%. The command hasn't been there. He's going to be seeing a White Sox lineup loaded with lefties. This team has high slugging numbers versus right-handed pitching, but I see Gausman getting hit up in this one once again. Going about 5 innings, giving up 3, possibly 4 runs. Before we get to the Cubs bullpen, they're in a really good spot here today, in my opinion. I see the arms coming out the bullpen, giving up another run, but nothing too crazy. Looking at the weather in this one, a bit more on the pitcher-friendly side. We got a small gust of wind. I want to say about, I'm reading the wrong damn game. This is a hitter-friendly game. We got a plus 15 home run percentage. We have about 8 to 9 mile per hour winds blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The odds makers got this game having the Cubs as the favorites, but it's a much bigger odds than it was yesterday. They got them at minus 164. The odds were slimmer yesterday. I think this game here today is so much closer than the game was yesterday, in my opinion. As far as the side goes, I lean the Cubs, not the most confident play. The game total set at 9 though. I really like the over 9 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Michael Busch of the Cubs for 2 total bases today. Final game of the day, we got the Dodgers in Colorado taking on the Rockies. We got Eric Lauer on the mound for the Dodgers. We got Ryan Feltner on the mound for the Rockies. Alright, getting into this one here, we said it in yesterday's game. We said either the Rockies pull out a close game or the Dodgers obliterate the Rockies. The Dodgers won by like 10 runs in yesterday's game. Blake Snell went out there, pitched a really good game. Here today, the Rockies will be seeing another left-handed pitcher in Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer has really good strikeout numbers. Can struggle with the command at times, but the big knock on Lauer, the hard hit rate and the home run rate. He's averaging 1.6 home runs per 9 innings. He's given up a hard hit rate sitting at 48%. In Coors Field here today, one spot that I do like for Eric Lauer is the strikeout stuff. This Rockies team does strike out a bunch. Not to mention this Rockies lineup continues to struggle to hit left-handed pitching. Even in their home games, they're a bottom 10 team versus lefties. At home versus righties, they're actually a top 10 team, but across the board, not good versus left-handed pitching this season. I see Lauer coming out here today having a really good game. He throws a really good fastball that's going to help him at Coors. I'm expecting him to go about 6, if not scoreless, giving up a run here today. He matches up very well against this Rockies lineup. Then we're going to get to the Dodgers bullpen. They're going to come in and do what they do, probably give up another 2-3 runs possibly. On the other side, we got Ryan Feltner on the mound. He has not been good this season. The hard hit rate sitting at 48%. He's a sinker ball pitcher. He's averaging 1.6 home runs himself coming into this game. Terrible splits versus lefties. Oddly enough, saw this Dodgers lineup earlier this season in Dodger Stadium, pitched 6 innings, only give up a run, but here today, looking at the matchup for him, I'm expecting the Dodgers to hit him up in this game. My overall breakdown, well, yesterday we saw Shohei go off. If Shohei's bat's waking back up, I see Feltner getting squashed in this game. Going about 3-4 innings, giving up 4 runs. Before we get to the Rockies bullpen, they'll probably come and give up another 2 or 3 themselves. This game is out in Colorado. They actually got about 6 to 7 mile per hour winds blown from the outfield into the diamond. Let's get to the picks. The Dodgers are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on a run line. The game total set at 11.5. I do like the under 11.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers for 2 total bases today. Alrighty guys, before we get up out of here, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. The Braves did not come through for us yesterday, so we'll be restarting our ladder here today with a $10 bet, and we'll be placing that $10 bet on the Milwaukee Brewers on the run line. We're getting them at plus 136. This is our ladder play of the day. Next up, we have a 2-leg home run parlay we're going to be playing here today. We're going to start it off with Ben Rice of the New York Yankees, and we wrap it up with Matt Olson of the Atlanta Braves, a $10 2-leg home run parlay. Next up, we have a 3-leg parlay we're going to be playing here today, all money line picks. We're going to start it off with the New York Yankees on the money line. We're then going to play the Philadelphia Phillies on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with the Tampa Bay Rays on the money line. Next up, we have another 3-leg parlay, all money line picks as well. We're going to start it off with the Kansas City Royals on the money line. We're then going to play the Milwaukee Brewers on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with the Atlanta Braves on the money line. Once again guys, before we get up out of here, I just want to send my salutes out to you all. It's Tuesday. You guys know what we do on Tuesdays. Let's keep that going. You guys know I appreciate you all. I respect you all. Hope we all win some money here today, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one.